Hey everyone, it is that time. It is Trybe Talks, but this time I've got something a little bit tricky up my sleeve. Now, after a fantastic season 2, I've put together all of the best bits of Trybe Talks. I hope you enjoy.
What made you set up your own business?
Probably my kids. The fact that I am a single mum, and for me, it's really hard to work a normal 9 to 5 because I need a way to navigate around life and the kids. So, for example, I want to be present at my son's football games or school plays, etc. So, for me, beauty and being self-employed helped me be able to chop and change between being a mum and being a businesswoman.
Yeah, and do you know what it is people think that, okay, so we make it sound really easier, yeah? But what is one of the tough bits that people don't really see? Because it's like, yeah, you can be flexible, but what is the downside of you being able to be flexible?
Okay, the downside for me, I would say would be probably...
Or like not even downside, like a hurdle that you have to jump that a normal 9 to 5 person ain't really gonna have to jump. Because I suppose if you need to be somewhere, you can't just book time off. Well, you can, but at the same time...
You have to be strict. So there are certain things that I do miss out on because I need to keep the shop open.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have the staff 24/7 in your shop able to keep it open, you know, the juggle is you being here whilst being at home.
Yeah.
I think for me, I made sure my shop was next to where I live as well.
Okay.
So I was able to go to and from.
To make it a bit more convenient.
Yeah, but I think, just, there's a saying, isn't there, that when people say, oh, I wanted more time, so I end up being self-employed, but now you work
24/7. Yeah.
That is me.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And I think that, you know, we're in a day and age now where it's really easy to just throw a business up on Instagram, be a entrepreneur or, you know, I'm working for myself. And there's a massive side of business that I think is just not really spoken about, like the company taxes, the company formation. It's so easy to just set up a company overnight. Like an Instagram social media company, that there's a lot of stuff that goes in on the back end that people don't really realize, you know. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you today. Like, I'm really inspired. I've said this to you before, that I'm very inspired by your journey, inspired by your business, inspired by your motherhood. What tip would you give to any mums listening that want to get into business for themselves? What would be the one tip that you give them?
God, don't put me on the spot like this. One tip.
Just one tip, yeah. Like, what's the one thing you wish someone had told you?
It's cliche, but don't give up. My friend still has the picture. When we was in school, we used to make a joke about my salon.
Really?
And I was doing people's eyebrows in the playground at school. And my shop was called Gash, Gash. Oh my God, Gash. And then my friend was like, Glamour at Selena's house. I'm like, oh my God, Gash. So we always made that joke. And I think sometimes in life, you're not dealt the best cards.
Yeah.
But when I say don't give up, that dream seemed so far away for me and almost looked impossible. But in my head, that was a dream that I was going to make happen regardless. So I will say, like, there's going to be times where it looks impossible. You just got to keep pushing, and that time will come. It might have not been my time 7 years ago to open up my salon, but my time has finally come at this age, regardless. So I would say just keep trying, just keep going.
So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out to come speak to me today. It's really funny because when I met you, neither of us were parents.
Yeah.
So it is a real... It's a real conversation.
Yeah.
Because
real journey.
It's a real journey, and it's a real conversation, and it's a real, it's progression in ways that I feel like only parents can relate to.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you become a parent, everything just changes. What would be your advice to the juggle? Okay. Because, you know, like, I feel like there's a bit of a
shade when people have normal jobs as well as running their businesses where there shouldn't be.
No,
you know, like there was a big thing where Bashi was talking about, you know, when he was doing his mixtape, he was a bus driver.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel like that is really, people don't understand that it is very tough to just jump into business.
Yeah, of course.
So what would be your advice for someone that wants to start their own business but they've got responsibilities?
Yeah, I would just say, listen, as long as you're doing something every day towards working, towards starting your business, and I'd say set a goal, like set a day that you want to actually start and work towards that day. Because if you don't have a goal, like a date for when you want to start, you'll never start. You will just be, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, and you'll never have, I'm going to start it now. So I'd say give yourself like 6 months, build up things that you think you might need for this business, and just get started. That's the best way to do it, and you'll learn along the way. Everything you'll just learn along the way. So,
Really, really good advice, man.
Yeah.
You have 7 children.
Yes.
And I see you in the gym, yeah? Like, I see your posts when you're in the gym, you're
so
focused.
strong.
Like,
Yeah.
it is so inspiring. And I think a lot of parents, mums, even dads as well, because you know they've got this whole dad bod thing
Yes,
going on at the moment.
exactly.
It's like, we really find it difficult to discipline ourselves to make time for ourselves. With 7,
Yes.
how are you doing this?
My darling, thank you for the question. So, what I would say is, when I had my first child at the age of 20, I made a promise to myself that when I reach a certain age, I was going to go all in and never look back.
Okay.
So I didn't quite know what that age mark would be, whether it would be 30 or 40. It turns out it's 40,
Okay.
thank God. And here I am. I never knew that I could pull out so much drive and determination in me, but I would say it's got a lot to do with the inspiration of having a complete, he's crazy actually. My brother, he's a bodybuilder.
Yes. So your brother,
My
brother's
brother, SJT, Sean Joseph Tavernier,
Okay.
he is my ultimate inspiration. And, you know, it's those little things that you do each day that inspire those around you. That's why I say to people, you really don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that those positive gems have trickled down to myself. So I'm able to now pass that on to my children.
Yeah.
And I
And
always...
the people around you that are watching you.
100%.
So my name is Lala and I'm an event management organizer. I have a company called The Hive, which basically puts on events mainly for SEN parents, but I put on events whenever anyone asks me, really.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, so for the people that don't understand what SEN is, I mean, you must be living under a rock to not understand what SEN is. However, the people that live under rocks, please, can you explain to them what SEN is?
So SEN, S-E-N-D, is special educational needs and disability. So it just refers to children who are at school that require additional help.
Okay.
Whether that's through because of their autism or because they have a physical disability. That's basically what it means.
Okay, and you are doing events for the parents of those children.
Yeah, so as being a SEN parent, I'm a SEN parent myself. We go to a lot of events, but those events are like meetings, tribunals, workshops.
Real serious stuff.
Going to Parliament, advocating. And I just wanted them to go to an event that wasn't about being a SEN parent.
Okay.
It was about being free, whether you're a mum or a dad of a SEN child. It's about being free, letting your hair down, getting drunk.
Enjoyment,
yeah. Just being you, putting the cape down for a minute and just living in your truth and who you are. And then when you go home, your child's probably up at 1 a.m. because that's what comes with being a SEN parent. They only struggle with sleep. So about being in a judgment-free zone, because a lot of parents, when you go out, they're like, oh my God, you're out. Like, why are you sleeping in a corner? Whereas as a SEN parent, if I see you sleeping in the corner, I get it. I get it.
Wow, that is so powerful. Do you know what it's like? As I said, like the SEN thing is so like it's everywhere at the moment. You know, there's a lot of spotlight on, and there's people like yourselves doing really amazing things to show that, you know, there is a wider community out here. And just because you have SEN children, like, you are like, we all want to run away from our kids. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean? And it's okay. So to hear that you're providing a safe space for like-minded parents to be able to go and just be completely vulnerable, like, is really, really amazing. Like, honestly, like, it actually sounds really, really incredible. So what made you start it in the first place? Obviously, I know you said it's like, you know, a bunch of serious events follow Sen. So what made you start it? What was the tipping point for you?
We did a live, so me and a few other it was mums on this live, and we were just basically talking about our experience, and they were like, well, what do you do to mentally, you know, unwind? And, you know, everyone says they go to the gym, they go to church.
The gym one kills me though, because that's what people say all the time. Like, so what do you do? I go to the gym. I hate the gym.
I go to the gym to unwind. I find it quite stressful.
I just want you just go there to try and be fit and this, you know, like be healthy, like not to unwind.
Not to unwind. I said, I like to go out with my friends. I like to have cocktails. The best part for me is like, I'm going to get my hair done and I'm going to get my nails done. Most of the time you're in a tracksuit and your hair's in a bun. So the whole journey of getting ready to go out, even if I go out for half an hour and I'm like, I need to go home, the whole process of knowing I'm going to see my friend, my hair's done, I look like a human being.
Yeah.
And we have a few drinks. I get to eat my food in peace. Nobody's asking me what's that.
Shoulder.
Yeah, like that whole process to me helps my mental state. It reminds me of who I am outside of being a mum and a wife and a sister and all the things. Yeah, and I have I call them my tribe, actually. I call them my tribe, my friends. And I explain that on the lives, like my tribe, they're not all Sen parents, but I don't have to explain myself to them.
Because they get it.
They get it.
Well, I would like to think that I'm easy to talk to.
Okay.
Or I try to be. That's the goal, is to be easy to talk to, because I think communication is key. And even if I always say to the kids, like, even if you think I don't like the answer, still tell me the truth, because like you will either learn from it or you will grow from it.
Yeah.
So that's my,
yeah. That's good listening skills. Do you know what? That's a really hard skill that people have in general. I feel like I struggle with my listening.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm intentional. I'm not the greatest at it, but it's a work in progress, I'll say. It's something that I really want to work on and that I try to make sure I implement in just like small conversations.
Yeah.
How was your day? You know, like, was it a good day? Was it a bad day? Talk to me about it, even if it's for 5 minutes, because they say even if you give your kids 20 minutes a day,
it's better.
It's better than none.
Yeah, and I found that when Kizzy was in her earlier years, it got to the stage where she'll come out of school. How was school? Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, was it good? Great. And then now I realise that I have to ask better questions. It's not for her not wanting to speak. I'm not asking the right things. I'm like, so who did you play with today?
Yeah.
So what was the best thing that happened today?
Yeah.
You know, like trying to get her to be conversational at a time where she's been at school all day. She probably don't even want to talk. So it's trying to get into them. It's like
hard, but it's every day is different, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Every day is new.
Very different. But listen, you've been amazing today.
Thank you.
I'm really inspired by your story.
Thank you.
I feel like I am drawn to tell you that you have to make sure you take time for yourself.
Indeed.
I think that supporting so many people could have a toll if you don't implement time for yourself.
I agree.
You know, and I think as mums, we always sacrifice and do everything for everyone else.
Indeed.
Your success is built on the people you know, opportunities, chances, all of those types of things. But it's really important to have a sponsor. Yeah. And I've been very lucky throughout my career journey and pathway. I've had sponsors that have believed in me. But I've had to really work hard to force it and to make sure that I wasn't toppled over, because I've worked in FTSE 350 organisations, the big financial services organisations. I'm not going to name them here, but I was the only a lot of time. When I started as global head of marketing or head of marketing, anything like, I was the only, right? I was only face that looks like mine around the table.
It's insane.
All right. And you have to struggle with, I lead by my values, and you struggle with, how am I bringing my identity? And I do know that part of that way, I didn't bring my full identity in. They saw this face, this black face, but I looked like them, I sounded like them. So I wasn't black, if you understand what I mean.
I feel like it's it's a weird thing that I feel like I've experienced, and maybe if I say it, you'll be able to say, yeah, it's similar to that. And it's like, you're okay because you're their black person. And I feel like I've experienced that in my like family settings before. It's like, as an adult, I realised now, oh, I was cool to be black, but because I'm your black.
Yes.
Not because I am black. Like, it's a very different feeling. So is that what it is?
Yes, it is. And because people would fit. I remember my husband picking me up. My husband is a tall, black, beautiful, hot chocolate. You know, he's been mistaken for Shaquille O'Neal, all of those basketball players. And I remember him picking me up one evening, and oh my God, the difference. It was all male. I think there was just, we were a party of, there was 10 of us, all men, 2 women, me and another woman, white lady.
Okay.
When Roy walked into that room, the difference, they suddenly now said, oh, he's a big lad.
Wow, yeah. And the word lad as well. This is so different.
Right? He's a big lad, you know, and, you know, that type of language today, I mean, I'm going way back 20 odd years. Yeah. And guess what? I'm still very, very good friends with those people.
Yeah.
And they're my sponsors and coaches. But they just didn't know. And, you know, this unconscious biasness, because suddenly now they're realising, hey, there's a black woman in this room.
Yeah.
Right? She's one of us, but suddenly her identity is showing up.
Yeah.
And that's
and
how...
they're seeing you.
And they're seeing you. But that kind of stayed like that. You know, being the only for a lot of my career in different positions, because there are lots of... there's lots of diversity, and that means gender and colour. Yes. That's what people really put inclusivity on, and I hate it, because inclusivity is much broader than gender and diversity and that intersectionality.
The level of body confidence that you need to have to really not just wear the costume, but execute in the costume, Danielle. Like, talk to me about that. And you're a mum of 2. Yeah. You know, I know you go to the gym quite a bit, but talk me through how you are able to stand in your own skin and unapologetically be like amazing, you know? Like, there's a lot of batty out.
There's a lot of batty out.
How are we, you know, how do you get there?
The first time I had to wear a thong costume was last year for the launch, and I'd never worn a thong before that. My belly was out, and you know me when it comes to my belly. I'm like, I've got a flat belly, but I do a stretch mark, so I'm like high-waisted, everything high-waisted. This was the first time my stomach was out and my stretch marks were on show, and I had my bum out. And I was just like, do you know what? It is what it is, because I know I look good. I have a couple stretch marks, and I respect other women's stretch marks. I'm like, why have I got all of this ammo for myself when I see it on someone else, I'm like, it's beautiful, it's part of you. Yeah. It's, you know, it's your tribe. So talk nice to yourself, like, chat to me nice. And I just went with it. And I'm like, if anyone has a problem, that's their problem. And do you know what? That was the year that same picture that I done for launch was on the side of the truck.
Okay, so we need that picture. We need that picture as well, because I
remember...
And
you can see the stretch marks in that picture.
I didn't even notice them. And that is definitely, we all have our own personal things that we look at, because I never noticed that at all. I know you have your little tiger thing, but I don't see it. And I think that as women, most often than not, we see the negative stuff that nobody else actually knows until you actually point it out yourself.
And I used to always point it out.
Oh, I remember when we was designing for bingies, you used to be like, no, but we need a high-waisted, no, but we need a high-waisted, no, but
don't look at my stretch mark.
you know, and you've definitely come a long way from that.
Again, it's balance, you know, and being a parent doesn't change the artist. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't mean, like, I know people, like, when, like, you feel having a kid, you might lose yourself or something like that. I don't really, I just think that prioritise your kids, prioritise what's important, but you're also a priority as well.
100%.
And don't forget that. It doesn't, the priorities, it shifts, but it doesn't, you can't, how am I putting this?
No, it's like you're talking about the, it's like the theory when you're on a plane and they say you have to fix your life jacket first.
100%.
Because if you fix your child's first and not yours, and you drown, what's going on with your kid?
100%.
So it is that. Like, and I totally agree with that, and I think it's important.
You don't stop being a priority, that's the thing. So just, and as well, like, and try to keep to your promises. Yeah. Especially, like, when you're having kids and stuff, like, because not having kids, you can say I want to do this and not do that, but I feel like your time does get a bit shorter. The days go a lot faster. So
there's less hours for you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like when I say I need to do something, I've got to do it.
Yeah.
I think having kids helps that as well for me.
Yeah.
And parents that are not in their children's life, bro, it's not the end of the world. I swear to God, like, you just have to just get back. It's not difficult, bro. It's just not difficult. So any whatless parents out there, don't feel too bad.
Don't feel too whatless. You can get back in.
Yeah, like I know some people that weren't there for the child's life in the first 3 years, and the child's 27 now, and the child don't remember. So they were there for 24 years. It's cool.
Yeah, no. They know the no, but they're not doing the do.
I just
What's the plan, man?
Like when I have conversations with my friends, like especially when people are feeling down, like I do say, because I think like being sad or upset, that's emotions, yeah? So I'm saying that's fine, but only allow yourself so much time. So if you're having a bad day today, make sure tomorrow you get up and you go to the gym. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just that, because we're going to have bad days. Things are
And
gonna
that's
happen, we can't
the
control.
balance. Yeah, it's balance.
So it's that. It's just make sure you're doing enough for you. That's all. And diet and just...
all the
so many
things.
things are so important. You know what I mean? Just try it, innit? As long as you're doing something each day, I think that's enough.
Oh, I love that. I think that's honestly, that's like probably one of the most profound things that I've heard. So Narinda, what advice would you give to people navigating co-parenting and running a business by themselves? What would be the advice?
For me, because someone calls it sprinkles, I feel like, you know, there's all these sprinkles that are going to come on, but like I've got to stick to my core of the goal, of my purpose, my why. So my why that I'm doing it, and it doesn't always work out, not all days are like sunny days, as you said, but that is important for me. And then the co-parenting is just having a good communication with the father of my children, and I'm trying to work together and support each other so that we're both able to work and provide for the children and have time for them. So actually just making time and being present as a parent. So I don't feel like I have like the answers or any great advice. I just say, just keep going with whatever you're passionate and you love to do. And if you can't like, do your passion as a full-time, have it as something on the side that gives you a little bit of that fulfillment, and make sure you're having me time, which I didn't have in my marriage. I think I started off doing like 10 minutes in the bathroom to then 20 minutes to then a half a day away. And I built myself up. So it's not like, all right, now I'm going to go on that girls' holiday, because you're going to miss your kids, and you're going to struggle a little bit because it's something that's not normal to you. But like making sure that even if it's an hour to watch whatever program it is, or taking a walk, whatever it is that fulfills you, and just making sure that you're communicating with your children and checking in, because that's another thing we can sometimes, like, I've got one of my children's very quiet and doesn't really open up much, but seeing the signs and the signals and making sure that you're present enough and not fully focused on the hustle to actually take time to be a parent.
Go for it. Don't hold back. And don't have that mum guilt. I know it's easier said than done, but I just feel like there's a balance to everything. Yeah. And I think sometimes, right, I don't think I don't feel this way, but if, say, for instance, my career wasn't doing well, and it is, but if it wasn't doing well, I would be like, I wouldn't want to feel like I have that feeling, like animosity, that feeling of like, resentment. Resentment, that's what I'm looking for. You don't want to have that resentment feeling, and it would be there. Because you'd be like, if it wasn't for you kids, or if it wasn't for like, if I hadn't have got pregnant, or if I hadn't done this, I would be doing this, this and this. And I feel like we're in a time where if you want it, you can have it, and you have to work out how to balance it and do it. I mean, I balance so much. And now my little boy, he's now, from being 3, he's now 11, nearly 12. And he's like a little superstar in his own right. So I'm now balancing his career as well. We hardly get any sleep, but we manage it. And it's all a little bit of give and take. And sometimes I have to sit down there and go, right, I want to do this, but I can't do that. Yeah. So it's okay to not do this, but I'm going to do that.
Thank you everyone who has supported Trybe Talks this season. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you to all of the guests for coming and joining me, taking time out of their busy schedules of hustling, running businesses, and ultimately being parents. Stay locked for season 3 coming up in 2026.